hello, hi. If you're watching, that means I didn't get to your reading a few days ago. I'm so sorry this has taken me so much time. I haven't been feeling well, and I don't like to do readings when I'm not in the right energy. I talked about it a few times on stream, but I'm kind of going through some personal stuff with my family, and I'm working through it. I'm healing. She's healing. And I'm feeling really good today. I've had a wonderful day, so I wanted to get back to you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll say again, I really appreciate it, and let's get into it. Your timestamps will be in the description below, listed next to your name, so you can skip on to your reading. Remember, when it comes to the future, that tarot is unreliable, so do take it with a grain of salt. You do have free will. Things can change, you know. I'm not the end-all be-all when it comes to your future, and practice your own intuition and discernment. You're psychic too. All right, see you there. See you there. Love you. See you there. Hi there, darling. You said thank you so much. Oh wait, oh that was me. I said that. Oh, I don't think that you said anything. I don't think you said me anything. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, let's see what you got. Let me get your name back up on the page for you. I had it like this. Sorry, I had intended to have it up and ready to go, but I thought that maybe you sent a private message, so sorry about that. Okay, let's see what we have for you, darling. What do we have for darling? Who are they and how do we meet at the bottom? Do you like this music? I like the music. I think it's really cute for soulmate readings. Alright, Spirit, please help us and see who is darling's soulmate. What's their energy when we meet them? And how do we meet them? What does that look like? Let's see energy around. Ooh. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay, I'll say this. Oh, interesting. Okay, when you meet them, you'll notice that they are a very curious person, but they're very shy. They have so much knowledge, they have intense interests, and really light up when they talk about the things that they're passionate about. We have engineer, and part of me thinks that this is literal. You know, sometimes I look at energies, I mean, obviously with child victim. Yeah, you're soulmate's a child victim. No, I don't think that's the case, but I do think that engineer, you know, I'm feeling really called to say that they might be in that line of work. You might find them while they're working or while they're in school, while they're studying something. I just feel that whatever it is that they do, they kind of put their whole ass into it. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's because that they love it and they want to see how far they can take it, but they're not the usual type of person to go out. They're not the type of person to go party or do stuff like that. And so I do think that's something that they need to heal. I feel like they struggle in crowds. I think that they may really struggle connecting with people sometimes. But other than that, you know, they are a good person. They just have some pain, have some trauma, just like all of us. We also have justice, truth, honesty, clarity. This is also another energy that has to do with thought and intellect and the mind, because it's Libra energy, which is in the suit of air. We also have the Two of Cups, and this has to do with relationships and deep bonds. And then we have Temperance. So it's possible that when you meet them, both of you are actually in a relationship. And I know maybe that's not the best time to be meeting your soulmate, but you know, crazier stuff has happened. Justice means that I'm legally bound to something, but it can also mean I've made a commitment to something. You know, I have a verbal agreement with somebody. And so the Two of Cups is here, and this is about relationships. This is about once again, it's commitment, but it's more of like a soul sort of bond. I think both of you are really going to get along with each other, but you might hold back. You might hold back a lot, and it's because of other commitments that you have made. And so Temperance is here. It'll take time. In fact, it might even be a couple years before both of you decide to actually start turning this into something romantic, and I do think it's because we have some relationships that we need to dissolve before that happens, but that's okay. That's all right. You'll both find each other in the end. So give it time. It's genuinely, the Temperance card does mean divine timing. So alrighty, I'll leave it there, darling. I hope that you like that. Thank you, darling. I wish you the best with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you are never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi there, Sugarcane. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I'm sorry it's taken me some time. As I said in the beginning, I've been doing my own healing. I hope that you're feeling well. Let's see what you wrote, if you did write anything. Let's see what you got. You said, hello, I'd like a soulmate reading. I want to know what they are like and where I'll most likely meet them and how are they doing. By the way, I love your energy. Thank you, Sugarcane. Thank you. You're so sweet. I hope that you like your reading today and that it is worth the wait. We're gonna pull for who they are when you meet them and how you meet them. It's kind of the best I can do. I can't necessarily say when, because as I mentioned before, time and energy is fluid, but I can see the conditions around it. So let's see what we got. Who are they when you meet them? And I'll let you know if I see anything else. And I actually, you know what? I actually can see what they're up to now, and I might do that after this little peekaboo. So let's just be nosy. I got this one last reading too. Not a virgin. No, I'm just kidding. It says, I'm laughing because it's silly. So it says engineer, virgin, and hedonist. These are just archetype cards. Obviously, this doesn't mean that they've never dated before, but it could. It could. In my opinion, it means, because here's what it says. Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. And the hedonist here, it says inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life and celebrate the beauty in one's life. And the engineer says ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So I'll say this. I think that they are definitely learned. I think that they have at least 1 degree when you meet them. I also feel that they are into some things that maybe a lot of... how do I say this? I don't know if you're into men or women, but if you're into men, I would say that they're kind of into things that most people aren't. It kind of reminds... Okay. How do I say this without being mean? I just think that they are into very niche interests. Alright, okay. I think it's very separate from what they do for a living though. In my opinion, what they do for a living is something like IT, you know, something kind of like very straightforward and to the point. It just kind of makes them money. But I feel like they collect things because we have a hedonist and it's embrace the good things in life. Like they like to collect, they like to have very beautiful things in their home. And it's all kind of in relation to a niche interest. It reminds me of like Warhammer or D&D or something. And it kind of feels like to me as well that because they are so into these... because they're so into these kind of very story-filled interests that they're very specific about the relationships that they get into. You know, they're like, I want somebody I would die for or nobody. You know, it's that kind of stuff. It's very much like, my queen, I'm a knight, you know? That kind of stuff. It's not bad, but I do think it means that they don't have the most love experience. And so... There's that. Oh, the 5 of Cups. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, they like you, but they think they can't have you. That's so sad. I'll tell you this. It'll eventually work out, obviously. You guys are soulmates, but there is this energy of I I also think you might meet online, or there might be some distance, but the Five of Cups is sadness and loneliness. So you might meet them when you're in a dark place or they're in a dark place, but the connection is instant and both of you talk all the time. Both of you talk about what's going on in your life. But yeah, once again, I do feel like they think that, you know, you might not like them or you might not be good enough for them. And not in like the red flag sense. Have you ever heard that thing, like, if they say they're not good enough, believe them? Not like that. It's not like that. I think that they don't have experience. You know, bro's missing some aura. And that's okay. He'll gain it over time. So that's what I see. Let's see what they're up to now. Not bro missing some aura. But I don't know what you're attracted to. If you're attracted to women, you know, it might be somebody who's like super into romance, but they've never had one of their own, you know, and they just feel super insecure about getting into something super serious. Okay. All right, let's see. What are they up to now? Lonely. The Four of Cups is here though. They have a really good friend group. You know, they're around people that they love. But I do think that they're healing a lot of their fears. I think that they're going through very important karmic lessons and they're just not quite ready to meet you yet. And that's okay. And that is okay. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you, Sugarcane. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you are never alone and you are loved. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Hi there, Gleek. I feel like I remember you. You said hello. It's my first time donating. Oh, thank you for donating. Trusting with your reading. I felt kind of empty. It's my freshman year of college, and my last relationship left a bad taste in my mouth. And I would love a reading about a soulmate. Of course. Hey, I'm sorry about that. We all have kind of... Sometimes we have beautiful relationships. Sometimes we have really shitty relationships. It's just part of being human. It's part of putting yourself out there and being brave and vulnerable enough to love. So it's okay. We just take the L and we go, all right, next time. It'll be okay. Let's see, we're gonna pull for who your soulmate is when you meet them, and then the energy around meeting them. So, okay, sorry about the cat hair, babe. I have 2 cats, and they do have hair. Did you know that? So hold on. let's see who they are when you meet them, and the energy around meeting them for you. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I feel like this is the right one, actually. Priest! They're gonna be a priest now. Just kidding. Engineer. Engineer has been coming out a lot. And alchemist. Interesting. Alchemist. So, priest, it says, facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. We have engineer, ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. And then we have alchemist, and this one says transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. I think the person, like this person, when you meet them, you will think that they are extraordinarily smart. They will, this kind of reminds me, the energy reminds me of somebody who has like, you know, when they graduate, they have all of those cords. You know what I'm talking about? They have all the cords that means that they were like, they got straight A's and they had a 4.0 average and they got a perfect score on the SAT or, you know, that kind of stuff. This is that person. Now, what they study is actually, it feels like they study either philosophy, spirituality in some sort, or religion. And I'm actually very, or like history, and they're very interested in like mythology and the past and bringing those ancient wisdoms forward. I know this is very specific, but I think that they practice this. They might be super into like history and archaeology, and I might be biased because I will say, like, just a couple of days ago, I watched a girl who was super into archaeology, but I keep seeing her, you know, it's not like I think about her all the time. And it's not like I don't even watch her all the time. She just kind of popped up yesterday in my mind, and I was like, wonder what she's up to. So, you know, everything has a reason, but that's what it feels like. You know, somebody who's very learned in history, very smart, definitely recognized for their achievements, and talks a lot about their interests, and you know, they might even teach, and if they don't teach, they could have their own social media where they talk about it. It's that kind of stuff. So I like them. Can I meet them? Let's see how we meet them. With the Three of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Tower. Here are the conditions of meeting them. Number one, it's in the future. Obviously, we haven't met them yet. The Three of Wands almost always means that it's further away. There are some paths that we need to go down before it happens, but just trust and know that when you meet them, it will be an experience that is very ground-shaking for not only you, but them. So there's something about you two meeting, because we have the Tower card, and this represents things falling down. It means old belief systems, old ways of being, old thoughts and habits, all of this coming, just hurtling down. And I think that they will show you the truth of what it means to be loved wholeheartedly. But more importantly, I think they're going to teach you what it means to actually fall for somebody. You know, the Tower falls, right? And I feel like the fall is fucking harsh. Now, I think that they're gonna like you. Actually, no. I know that they're going to like you, but they might be in the midst of either moving or traveling or going around, making it a little bit hard to commit, because the Tower can also mean instability. But just know that they're very honest and communicative, and I do believe that they will stay in your life and talk to you regularly. And so the relationship might take a little bit of time for it to become something super, super committed and serious, but just know that the emotions are there, the feelings are there, the spiritual connection is there. It's just kind of like, you both might even say this, man, this is kind of bad timing. Why do you have to live in Massachusetts when I'm in Florida? You know, it's kind of like why did you have to get a job in goddamn Washington State when I'm in Southern California? You know, it's that kind of energy. It's like they just got a job somewhere else, and you're like, what? And I do think that you'll both have to look, we get confirmation. This has to do with patience, figuring out what we want to do, and patience aiding both of you, and you guys being together. You know, Seven of Pentacles, 2 cards about patience, which is good. It's gonna be your best friend in this relationship. It might be kind of confusing and hard at first, but once we realize, like, oh yeah, you know, this is worth it. You got the goddamn sun, dude. The sun means happiness, joy, success, clarity. Nothing is in the dark here. And so it's a pretty fast succession. It might take, I would say, just because they're a little bit nervous about being away. I know this is so specific, by the way. I'm getting so specific. But anyways, I trust what I see, is all I have to say. It'll work out. It'll work out. All right. Thank you so much, Gleek. I hope that you enjoyed that. Remember that you are never alone and you are loved. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Posty! Hi, Posty. What's up? You said, let's hear about that soulmate. Maybe it's tied to my lover's pools tonight. I always love your content and work. Keep it up. Yeah! Thank Thank you, Posty. You're so sweet. I hope that you enjoy your reading, and I appreciate your patience. I say again, I hope that I really do. I know I sound like a broken record, but I do hope it's worth the wait. Okay. All right. Let's see who they are, and at the bottom we'll pull the energy around meeting them. I love these. These are so much fun. These are so much fun. Couple more. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I like when they do that. Interesting. So it's a woman. No, I'm just kidding. You're gay now. No, or maybe you were already. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what you're attracted to, but I will say this. I do think that they're in a usually meant for women job. When I say meant for women, like female dominated sort of job. They have healer, they have femme fatale, and they also have knight. And it's like they're a therapist for. They're like it's like they're a relationship therapist or something. You know, that's what I'm seeing. And they help with trauma. I know that's so specific. Oh, I know that's like so specific. But I'm seeing somebody. Well, when I first saw this, I thought of a masseuse. And so they might be good. They might be good with their hands. But I know I'm talking a lot about their job, but I do think that they have a deep relationship with healing, specifically feminine energy. Like they work with a lot of hurt women. I know that's so specific. But that's what I'm seeing. And I could have taken this many ways. You know, I could have been like, oh, you know, they have a very healing energy and they come off as very suave and very much like in touch with their feminine, and they're very loving. Like I could have said all that, and that might be true. That might be true, but I just keep getting like it's like they work with it's like they work with women who have been through some sort of trauma. I don't think that they're touching the women though, because I know I said masseuse. But I just knew it had to do with their line of work when I first saw it. Okay, anyways, we do the Knight card, and this is to me that they are looking for love. You know, they're looking for love. And I don't want you to be worried about like, oh, you know, they work with women. Oh, that's so scary. What if they like those women more than me? The women that they're working with, you know, they're usually a bit older. Maybe they could be like I don't know if they do like divorce stuff. There's just something like they empower women in some way, some form. Anyways, the knight is here. So like I said, I do think that they're looking for love. And here's the energy around meeting them that came out. We have the death card. This is about transformation and rebirth. The Knight of Swords is about having an intention and going for it without any qualms. So super like, oh yeah, I want this and I'm going for it and I'm not nervous at all. Let's go. The Four of Cups is here, and this does mean a lack of fulfillment, a lack of love. And then we have the Chariot, the Princess of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. So I'll say this. I think that they have been looking for love for a while. And I think that when you meet them, they might be in the midst of getting over somebody, and they're back in the ringer, they're back at it, they're trying to meet some new people, and they might even be honest, like, hey, just so you know, I had this relationship last year, obviously not on the first date. I don't think they would say that on the first date. They're not stupid. I think they're very smart, but I do think that they will be honest pretty early on to people, like, hey, you know, I've been hurt in the past, and these things happen to me, and I'm a little bit nervous about connecting in love again, but I know that I'm ready for that next step, even if I'm nervous. And so I do feel like that is present, which is really funny because they do say that counselors and therapists and people like that, they do tend to be very open and upfront about what it is that they are dealing with emotionally. And so I do think that this is very in line with their character. They might be a Cancer energy. Cancers are often in this line of work, so like counseling and healing and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they're looking for something new, and that's how both of you meet. They're very straightforward about it too. Like, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship. So I like it, and I do think they approach you, by the way. A lot of cards about like, I'm high. So, okay, Posty, I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you are never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Kogo! Hi, Kogo. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for your patience. I really hope that it is worth the wait. I really mean that when I say it. And you said, since I'm in a relationship, I wasn't planning on asking for a reading, but with the person reading about their relationship, it makes me curious. Yeah! Would love to see what the soulmate reading would say about us. I'm very happy with him. I'm just too curious. Yes! Okay. I don't quite remember what I said, Kogo, but how about... Yeah, let's pull. What does Spirit have to say about the relationship? How's the energy? Is the energy looking positive? Is the energy looking good? I bet it is, especially since you loved him. Alright. Thank you so much too. My guides! And Kogo's guides, as well as their partners, for helping us in this reading. I love this little bell. It makes me so happy. It never fails. Alright. Ooh, honest. Clear. Oh my gosh, and empowering. Alright. Period. Every time I pull the Emperor, I'm like, I know, that's right. You know, the Emperor represents someone who's very strong, someone who makes you feel safe. This is somebody who holds shit down, okay? Like I said, I know that's right. The Ace of Swords is here. We've got good communication. We're being honest with each other. We can talk about anything. And the Knight of Swords is great too, because it means no filter. And I'll do what I gotta do when I must do it. I think both of you understand what it is that you're intending in the relationship. You know where you're facing, you know where you're going, you know what's next, and I think that brings a lot of comfort for both of you. The Emperor actually is Aries energy, and so they're very driven, right? They're not afraid to take action. They're very courageous, and seeing all this sword energy, it says to me that they've got a way with words, don't they? Oh my, they've got a way with words to see the challenges. You might be really worried about the state of the world. You know, sometimes the Five of Wands can mean competition, but as soon as I saw the Five of Swords, I was like, oh man, nah man. They're really scared about, you know, very real things, right? Like the economy and the way the country is going and what's happening around us. And both of you have a lot of confidence in each other. It's just kind of the world around you that feels a little bit worrisome, and that's okay. That's okay. Your advice card is a Six of Swords, to let go of anything that isn't serving you, and in my opinion, that's fear of the unknown, you know, fear of things that you can't control. The Emperor card is here, and you know, that says that we got this, baby. Together, we're in it to win it, and we can fight this world together. It's really nice. It's really, really, really nice. Let's see what archetype cards you both come up as. I'm actually really curious. I'm just being nosy. I like it. It seems very healthy. Feels very mature too. Very mature. You know, a lot of you know, some relationships it's like, oh, I love you so much. It's very flowery. You know, it smells like perfume. It has the energy of roses and jasmine. And that's not to say you guys don't have that, but what you guys got going on is very like, it's very solid. You know what I mean? It's not just, like I said, it's not just perfume and roses. It's also commitment and choice and truth. All right. Oh my goodness. There's the perfume and roses. Oh, so this is the, oh my goodness. There's a perfume and oh my gosh. I'll say this. Don't be worried about the thief card because they, you know, you guys came up as really honest with each other and very clear. So I'm going to read the light attribute for it. It says, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And we also have a knight. It says loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And then we have companion, dude. We got fucking companion. That's your soulmate guy, okay? It says loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. This is very sweet. I like it a lot, Kogo. Yeah, I feel really good about it. I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you again for the wait, and remember that you are never alone and you are loved. I'll see you later, and I hope both of you enjoyed it. Bye-bye. Hi there, Taco. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me the other day, and thank you for your patience. I do hope that you enjoy it. It's a good experience, and that it's worth the wait. As I always say, you said, hey, I watch your stuff every so often. I just joined, but I'd like a reading today. I love your content. Thank you, Taco. Thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. Let's see what we got. We were doing soulmate readings that day, and so let's see who your soulmate is and the energy around meeting them. We've been getting pretty specific about them. And I get nervous because I'm like, man, am I being too specific? You know. But trust your own intuition. Let's see what we got. Thank you for trusting me as your reader and as your psychic. I do hope it's a good experience. Oh, I think I said that already, but well, I just double mean it. I just double mean it. Alright, I don't know. I feel like I gotta keep shuffling. I don't know, I just feel I'm very specific about when I draw, and I think that's good. So let's do just one more, and then I'll be done. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I haven't gotten this one. Okay, we have a dilettante, and it says delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So this is like a jack of all trades, master of none. Did you know that there is a full... I kind of want to read this to you because I actually think this is important. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. So the saying is, as you know, jack of all trades, master of none. But the full phrase is actually, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So I just want to, sorry, I just think it's so fun. It's this energy of people who give it their best shot and they're not so worried about perfection, oftentimes are able to let their whimsy and their joy perform for them, making their talent more of like an inherent one and something that's very beautiful. And I don't know, I feel like mentioning that because I think that they have this energy. You know, this is somebody who's really good at so many different things and they have multiple talents. You also have father. It says talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. We also have beggar, and it says confronts empowerment at the spiritual and physical level, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. But at the bottom, it says dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. I do think, Taco, and I'm gonna be honest, I think when you meet this person, I don't think this is a bad thing because I do think that they are talented. I also feel that they are on their own personal journey. But you might notice, and I don't think this is necessarily like just their father, but I do think that they, at the time of meeting them, may still live with their family, and they may still be, you know, finding themselves and finding what they want and finding who they want to be. I don't know who, you know, what gender you're attracted to, if it's men or if it's women, but I think that this person has a lot of growing to do, and like I said, it's not a bad thing. They just need a little bit of time. I think they need a little bit of time, and this is just who they are when you meet them. And maybe you've met them already. Let's see the energy around meeting them. Woo. Lots of clumsiness. It might not be the most, yeah, like I said earlier, I wonder if, like, when you meet them, you're not necessarily super into them or even think about them. I think you might have met them already. We have the High Priestess. This represents intuition and inner knowing. Look at the Queen of Swords, truth, honesty, and clarity. And yeah, dude. The Six of Swords says, I've moved on. I'm going in a new direction. I'm traveling. And we also have the Queen of Swords, and this is independence. I think you've met this person already. And, you know, it could be a plethora of people. And you might even say to yourself, oh man, I hate the people I grew up with. What do you mean, dude? Like, and it's possible that, like, you went to elementary school with them, or, you know, you went to middle school with them. It's something like that. And I think that you run into them again. And I feel, yeah, let's actually let's ask intentionally, because I think that answered the question, have we met before? Look, are we gonna run into each other again, is what I was gonna ask. And the Three of Wands is at the bottom, and this represents the future. So yeah, obviously you're gonna run into them again, but let's see what that's like. Five of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Five of Cups. Dude! I've never seen... Okay, here's what's gonna happen, Taco. I feel like when you meet them again, or if you already know who this person is, I don't think that you are interested in them at all, like in the least bit. But in the far future, and I'm talking like in the next, probably like, I don't know if you're like this number, probably in like 7 years, you're gonna run into them and they're going to be healed. They're gonna be successful. They're going to have a lot of experience under their belts. They're going to have they're gonna have a job. They're gonna have a career. They're going to be a person that has done the work. You know, they've done the work. And I say this because the Nine of Cups is here. And this is wish fulfillment. This is being really proud of yourself. This is also being very independent. We have the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who usually they own their own business or they're very successful in their career. But it's also somebody that has a lot of, as I mentioned, experience under their belt. You know, they've had their failures and they've learned from them. And now they're very comfortable in who they are. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. I don't know why, Taco. I was seeing something about cars. I don't know. I was seeing something about cars. The Seven of Pentacles is here, and this is about patience. This is hard work and things being worth the wait. And so once again, I think that it's like you guys separate for years and years and years. You don't talk to them. I'm not really a big fan of their energy for very obvious reasons. They're not serious. They're dilly-dallying. I haven't even looked at them romantically. And, now, much later in the future, they found themselves and they're actually a really good person. And I think that their failures have taught them a lot about who they are, and they took it to heart. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, Taco. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Amethystia! Hey, thank you very much for getting a little soulmate reading from me. I hope that it is a good experience and that it's worth the wait. You said, hee hi again. I would like a general reading for fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can do that. I thought that you wanted a soulmate reading because I was doing those for stream, but we can do a little general one for you. Here, I'll even take off the love outfit. We can put on. Yeah, we'll put on purple because you're Amethystia. Let's see. All right, Spirit. Let's see. What does Amethystia need to know right now? I mean, right now. I mean, right fucking now. The key, period. The key ones is your energy. Your focus is the 9 of Cups, and we have your outcome be the 8 of Wands. You are figuring out right now what it is that you need to be more bold about, and how that can get you to your intentions faster. There's a lot of yeah, there's a big energy of I need to make things faster. I need to speed things up. I need to get things rolling. It's time to get very serious. The King of Wands is someone who's very driven. Obviously, they're in a chariot and they got some minds. They're a bit ferocious too, and they have a lot of courage and they take action, more importantly. And so you may be finding yourself right now wanting to really hustle, wanting to really shine, you know, take your creativity to the next level. And I see you doing that with a lot of intention, but also a lot of energy and being fairly successful about it, especially the 9 of Cups. I see you really knocking a lot of things off of your list this next, I almost said month, but Spirit's saying this next week. So that's really good to hear. The 8 of Wands is fast-paced energy after all. Your challenge is a 9 of Cups, and your advice card is a 5 of Swords. So obviously, we never get a challenge unless we can overcome it. And the 9 of Cups says that I want to seek something that fulfills me, that I feel in love with. I want to give to something that I feel good about giving to. You know, I don't want to just give my energy to anybody or to anything. I want to see my love be appreciated. And so this is what I think that you will be exploring internally. You know, do I actually like this? Is this really helping me? Do I feel excited about this? And does this fulfill me? And your advice card is a 5 of Swords, to really figure out what it is you don't like and don't be ashamed of it. You know, it's okay not to like stuff. There's lots of things I don't like. For example, I have some people, I had a person come to me and ask me about a hex and if it was successful and stuff like that, and that's okay. They can do what they want to. But I don't like hexing people. I don't like hurting people. I think that's really strange. And so, you know, that's a line that I've really created for myself. I say, okay, I'm not gonna explore that. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my cup of tea. I like a different brew, you know? You know what I mean? And this is kind of what I see you doing, you know, asking yourself, what is my cup of tea? And what drinks am I sipping from? Is it poisoned, right? Like, am I drinking from a cup that is gross and is making me unhappy? And how can I circumvent this? So that's kind of what we're exploring. Let's get a bit more particular about what's happening this week. We got the Magician card, the Emperor, a lot of masculine energy, so much masculine energy. You're probably really pushing yourself. You know, make sure that you know what? Spirit's saying that this is good. I was going to tell you, Amethystia, don't burn yourself out. I think that this is good. Not burning yourself out, obviously, but I think that you have taken the time to really care for yourself emotionally, spiritually, you know, tend to your garden. And now is the time to, like, plant some seeds. You know what I mean? Like that very, I'm taking action. I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm being courageous. I understand that things take some hustle sometimes, and that's okay. It's all a balance, and I see you doing that a lot this week. And it's all in the name of this. You know, once again, we have manifestation coming through. We really want to see this come into fruition. So I see you working really hard. I also see you talking to some people. You know, you might be watching some videos of people that do what you like. You might find yourself asking for advice more. There's a willingness to learn from people who have been successful before you, and this is setting you up for success. This is setting you up for goddamn success. So keep doing that. I like that. I think that's good. Six of Swords, letting go, and the Ten of Swords. Yes, and the Tower really wanted to come out too. So you may find yourself going, all right, and Spirit advised you to do this, remember? What isn't working? What isn't working? And I see you taking time to really eat that out of your life. You may be really inspired to do a lot of like letting go, like spring cleaning, throwing stuff away. You want to be lighter so that you can go faster. And this is what I see you doing, not only physically, but also emotionally. I also have this energy too, Amethystia, that I see you really wanting to tackle some financial stuff this week or this next, maybe, they're telling me the next 2 to 3 weeks. I see you really wanting to tackle some financial hurdles, and you will be successful. Okay, you'll be successful in a realistic way. Obviously, you know, I don't in a realistic way. So these are getting things really organized. This is getting things taken care of so that it's not hurting you anymore, and it's a bit uncomfortable. I do think that there's a lot you have to do, but it's good. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I think that I have yapped on a little bit too much, my bad, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you very much again. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Why, hello there, Star. Thank you very much for getting a reading from me. Thank you for your patience. I apologize for the longer than anticipated wait, but I'm feeling good, feeling refreshed. Let's see what you wrote. You said, oh, so it's good to see you again. You said soulmate reading from stream on 3/13. Please, of course. Last October, you predicted I'd meet my soulmate soon, and I think I met the guy who you were describing. And I am about to agree to be his girlfriend later this week. Really? Oh my god, she did it again. Is this the same guy you predicted? Let's see. Oh my gosh, that's wild. I want to say this to you, Star. Just remember, soulmates are a very sticky subject. You know, just because they're your soulmate and you were meant to be with them romantically, you were meant to experience life with them, and spend time with them, right? And learn with them and grow with them as a soul. That doesn't always mean that you have to be with them, okay? If you like them, if you're feeling it, if you like the energy, but then let's say, I don't know, 2 years from now, 6 months from now, you're like, I don't know, I don't really like this guy. I don't know if he's my soulmate. This reader says he is. That doesn't mean you have to stay. Okay, you have free will. And never ever let somebody, especially if you're uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I have to say this because this is important. A lot of people will use the "but I'm your soulmate" against you to get you to stay, and I just want to tell you, you know, be careful about that. Just because they're your quote soulmate doesn't mean you have to suffer. All right, you can have another soulmate. Those exist. Some people have 2, some people have 1, some people have 3. Right? It depends. Sometimes, yeah, it depends. But let's see. Sorry, I try to be very careful about that because I think that we as a society have a very unhealthy idea of soulmates as well as like love and commitment. So I just want you to be careful and respect yourself. That's all. All right, that's enough. That's enough of me yapping, big sister yapping. I gotta keep the girls safe. All right. Let's see what I got. What's the energy of this person that they're oh, okay, Spirit, thank you. Oh, very attracted to you. Eight of Cups is walking into the unknown. So I do see you taking the leap if you haven't already. You know, you might be really interested in just seeing, walking, finding out. I don't know where we're going, but let's see what happens. We have got the Magician card. So this is about manifestation. I like this. I think this is open-ended in the way that it is what both of you pour into it. And so if you give this person love, they're going to mirror love back to you. If you give this person honesty, they're going to mirror honesty back to you. And I think that this is something that both of you will really enjoy exploring. And if you need to take your time, that's okay. Oh my goodness, I have the hiccups all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. But the Eight of Cups does mean like, I want to figure it out along the way. Sometimes it does. And I think that's all right. You know, and let's say that you already did decide to be their girlfriend. That's awesome. Because I do think that you both have a lot of potential within each other. But the Knight of Wands does mean like, they're very attracted to you. They're super into you. They really want to like turn this into something more. But be careful. Be careful. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling. Probably because I'm a little bit nervous. I don't like to make people feel like they're forced to be with somebody. I've been down that rabbit hole, and I think it's kind of bringing up some uncomfortable memories for me personally. But I'm trying my best to kind of read for you unbiased. So yeah, I don't see anything negative here. But be careful if they try to rush you. You know, you don't have to be rushed into something if you don't know yet. The Six of Swords is here, and things will happen as they must and as they need to, and trust that it's all in divine timing and also for your best. The Six of Swords and the Two of Pentacles is here as well, clarifying what we had before. It's like, I don't know, I'm trying to decide if I should really go for it or if I should leave. The Seven of Wands, yeah, I think that both of you might take it super slow, but I think love will really, really blossom if we have patience with each other. Let's see what else. I'm not giving up. Oh good. Okay, I like this. I think both of you have a nice thing going. I do think it needs to be patient. I just do. I really do. I think that's also part of the reason, because the energy just feels that like, yeah, the energy just feels that we need to walk through this maturely, not based on just something intuitively, but also something very practical. Everything is in balance, right? And I think that you are taking that into account. I do think you're being very mature about your life and your energy and your love, and that's okay. That's okay. And I think that they are respecting that as best as they can, especially if you're honest. Because like I said, there's a mirroring energy here. All right, that's all I have to say. I don't think it's bad. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Bye-bye. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you very much for getting a little reading from me. I hope that it's worth the wait, and I hope that it is an enjoyable experience. You said, let's see what she said. Hi, Ron. Could I please have a general reading specifically about my future love life? Thanks for the reading. Of course. You know, I'm actually doing makeup readings for a stream, and I did, you know, I noticed that you ordered outside of the stream, and that's okay. That's all right. And I was doing soulmate readings for this, and so let's see who your soulmate is, since we're already on that path, and we'll also pull for, yeah, what's the energy around meeting them? Maybe you've met your person, maybe you're in a relationship. But yeah, maybe this will be an important message for you or about this person. Let's see what we got. What do we have for Cynthia? Let me sit up straight a little bit. It's almost midnight, so I'm a little bit eepy, but I am feeling good nonetheless. Ooh, Queen! I like that! It's not bad. Oh. Okay. Oh, no! Cynthia! Cynthia! I don't... Okay, you don't have to believe me. You could think I'm crazy. But I pulled this reading and then I said... And then in my head, I was about to say... Not spirit saying you are your own soulmate. And then at the end, we got mentor. And this is a card that I use for my guides, for my teachers. Anytime I pull this card, and there's another one, there's a purple one that says guide. I wonder if I could find it. Anyways, every time I pull it, I'm like, oh, it's my guides. And so I don't know. I think there's a message here about giving to yourself for now. I don't know if you're looking for love right now. I don't know if you are in a relationship. I don't know what you got going on, but I will say that these are some energies that I think that you are starting to walk into, and not just like the femme fatale. Like, I'm not saying like you're out here trying to slay these men or anything anything like that, but I do think that you're finding your worth. You're finding what you find is power in being a woman, and how to turn that vision into reality. We're finding it internally and we're trying to bring it into our reality. And so I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time saying like, oh yeah, this is your soulmate, especially with that mentor card. And the very first thing that Spirit said to me was, no, this is them. They need to focus on them. This is what they need to embody. And so obviously that's a little bit vague and maybe not what you want to hear, but I will say it is what you need to hear. So I don't know. Let's see what star energy we're working with right now. And if we get anything about Uranus or the 11th house, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is about you, babe. Okay, or Aquarius. Or Leo, dude. Okay, we have some Taurus energy. We have some 6th house energy as well as Saturn. So Taurus represents, I want comfort, I want stability, and I want structure and safety. But the 6th house says, but I know that I also need change, because there's also Saturn here. Now Saturn represents limitation, karma, discipline, and routines. The good thing about Saturn, and a lot of people give Saturn some flack, is Saturn is a great teacher. They say to us, and it's so funny because once again, we're talking about teachers and mentors, but anyways, Saturn says to us that we have a lesson we need to learn before we're ready for something. And what that is how to be comfortable within ourselves and how to give ourselves everything that we would want in a partner before we're ready to really commit to somebody. Because if we don't, then we're trying to attract from a place that isn't healed. We're trying to attract from a place that's lonely. We're attempting to find a soulmate when we're not ready, and that can make things really difficult. That can make things super, and you're the first person I've ever pulled this for, and so I think this is very important. You might, like I said, you might not like the reading, but there's Saturn, there's a mentor, there's what I said. I'm seeing it over and over and over again. This energy of calm down, focus on yourself, figure out what it is that you want. You have some more lessons to learn before you're super ready for something that is as life-changing as a soulmate. Now, once again, if you're in a relationship and you're like, oh man, does this mean I'm not, like, they're not the one? No, that's not what this means. It means that if you want the relationship to really heal, you have to heal you first. And that begins with seeing visionary, who your own worth, but also femme fatale. It says highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. It opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. And so it's like, yeah, I don't need you to feel attractive. I already know I am. And it's just like, oh, you don't want me? Okay, you're lost, loser. like it's having the confidence to feel that way. Not that you should ever call somebody a loser. Okay. Ooh, the Knight of Wands. And yes, dude, don't worry, because in time, you will have somebody who approaches you and doesn't make you question if they like you or if they're attracted to you or if they want you or if you're worth the bother. The Knight of Wands is here, and this is like, I'm not giving up. I'm doing what needs to be done, and I'm showing up, and I'm being persistent and consistent as well. And the Ace of Wands is like, yes, let me talk to you. I want to initiate this attraction in the night. And so I'll say this. You're very beautiful, and you shouldn't just settle for anybody, okay? And so figure out what it is that you want, because you can't have it, and you should not settle for less, because my goodness, do you have your pickings in front of you as your life goes on. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, Cynthia. I hope that's okay. I'm sorry that's not what you wanted to hear, but that's what we have. And just let me know if if you super hate it. If you're like, how could you say this to me? That's not what I have for running about. I give refunds all the time. I don't mind. Alrighty, I'll see you later. Thank you very much. You're actually my last one for this recording, at least. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.